This is the tale of a very strange and enigmatic subject by the name of Chef Scream. His highly unconventional habits single him out to be a very unique character. I guess the best way to describe Chef Scream is to actually let him describe himself. Huh? You know, I followed Chef Scream once during a short segment in his career where his reputation was starting to move him faster to the top. When I first heard of Chef Scream, a homeless man told me about it. He said there was a mysterious chef making the best food he had ever had in the soup kitchen. So myself and Chef Zach of The Comrade actually went to observe the master soup kitchen chef.
Couldn't believe this chef was doing so much with so little. When that soup kitchen opened up a block over, I was losing customers from my 5-star restaurant. The Comrade has never been close to being challenged on his gourmet menu. But here this masked menace walks into town, and all of a sudden my business drops by 20%.
So as it seems, there was quite a bit of tension between the two of you from the very beginning. Do you know what it was that he was doing exactly that was making his food so desirable?
I don't know, he was using spices and stuff. It's some French technique. I never heard of it. But he would come to think of it, he never even named a dish. He just walked out with it from the kitchen and pointed it out with a knife, just handed it to somebody.
Huh? Well, do you know anything of Scream's past?
Well, no. The customers I have talked to say he doesn't really talk much. He must concentrate quite hard on his work. I guess he doesn't even drink on the job either. I guess it's hard to take shots through that mask of his.
Chef Scream has made his first step up the culinary ladder, taking over the head chef position at a small restaurant across town, and began to bring his creations to a much, much broader audience.
Well, that soup kitchen closed down. Something about being a non-profit organization making profits, so they freaked out and closed their doors. But this cafe he moved to, Dakota Blue, is definitely a step in the right direction.
Had you even ever heard of this place before he started there?
Well, yes, actually. I heard that it was on its last legs. He had one of the smallest and worst menus in the city, but after he got there, their business picked up tenfold. They introduced items that just took off, like the Dino grilled cheese, fried bologna and rice surprise, and spam, baked beans and spam, and other foreign culinary delights. These dishes were true masterpieces. Textures and taste spoke volumes of his refined palate.
Well, it seems now that there's a lot more hustle and bustle here since the restaurant has taken off.
Yes, the restaurant was so good, it actually sparked an influx of residents into the area. The people live here just because of that single chef and his masterpieces.
So then he moved up, and he now owns this restaurant and actually has opened up a few more, right?
Yes, he's opened up one right where that soup kitchen used to be. Well, now it's not so free anymore. These places are putting me, a 5-star chef, out of business. I really don't know how he got to be such a hit. But now he has become even more reclusive, and I think he's taken customers of mine with him to his stores. I haven't seen them in quite a while, so I can only assume that I've lost him to his fine cuisine.
Well, thank you, Chef Zach, for your insights into the rise of Chef Scream's career. Next, we're going to talk to Chef Scream himself to see what his thoughts are on the world of culinary delights. Well, hello, Chef Scream. Let me tell you, it is so good to finally meet you face to face. Now, everyone is wondering, how do you do it? How do you make such fine cuisine with so little? Ah, I see, I think. So you do it with your knife? Well, it certainly is a pretty knife. Whoa! I mean a pretty sharp knife. So I hear you've been making one of your most famous items since the very beginning of your career. Now tell me, have you changed it at all since you began in that soup kitchen so many years ago? Okay. Well, so your competing restaurant, The Comrade, has remained a steady force in the fine dining business in this area. Have you dealt at all with them or Chef Zach along the years? So you dealt with them as if a cut of fine steak? Very interesting. Well, many people that have worked for you have almost a fanatical devotion to you. What do you do that sets you apart from the rest of the chefs that they have worked for? Well, I guess that says it all. Well, thank you, Chef Scream. This has been a very enlightening look into your climb up the culinary ladder. And it seems that you aren't going to slow down for anything. So good luck in the future, and all right. Cut.
We wanted to release this tape for our friend the director because he unfortunately went missing just after recording. We wanted to make sure that everybody knew where Chef Scream came from and how good of a chef he really was. From his humble beginnings in the soup kitchen to his multi-5-star restaurant chain.